Hey guys, HossYSMC here, and I'm back to do some videos on this channel. I'm sorry I've been away for so long, but I think I need to start doing them again. So this episode's brought to you by Just Us Publishers, publishing works of redeeming value. So this is about Chief Kessler. Chief Kessler was the guy who, about a year and a half or two ago, he was a chief in Pennsylvania of a police department. And he would publish some videos of him cussing and yelling and shooting machine guns and things like that. And he published several of these videos. So recently he was interviewed and admitted that he had actually done those to rope in terrorists, domestic terrorists of some type. And he said that he had actually helped bring in some people in Georgia and Texas. So, and this was, he said it was all voluntary. He was not hired by the FBI. So there's two things that may be possible here. There's a possibility that everything that he's saying is true, which really wouldn't surprise me. The FBI does this sort of stuff. They are an investigative branch. They investigate things inside and outside the borders of the U.S. So wouldn't surprise me if they're doing this sort of stuff. And the other thing is that he's just trying to seek attention now, and he wants to be hired, or maybe he's just tired of not being in the limelight anymore, and he wants another 15 seconds of fame. So that's always a possibility. The thing is that you want to avoid people like Chief Kessler, and I'll tell you why. People like Chief Kessler are going to be either, like he says, agents of government, or they're going to be targets of government. And the reason why is because he's a kind of a crazy person. Now, whether or not he's literally crazy or just acting crazy, this is the type of person you want to avoid, because you don't need them. They're not going to help you. These are not people that are organized. They're not intelligent. They're not going to be operating in creating good things that change government, whether it's, you know, politically or whatever. This is something you want to shy away from. These people are not someone you want to be involved with. When I was in Arizona a couple of years back, and I'm not going to name any names, but there was a man there who had admitted to me that he and some other people that he was an informant of the FBI, and he was informing on cartels and cartel activity. And he wanted me to also become an informant. And there were several other people there. This is not, I have plenty of people that that can tell you that I was the first one to jump in my truck and be like, bye. So the FBI is not a group you want to get involved in any way. Okay, the FBI's job is to investigate and prosecute people who are doing bad things. And I don't want to be involved in them. I don't think that they have a legitimate right to exist. And I don't think that their authority is legitimate. And I don't want to be involved with them in any way, whether working for them or being investigated by them. And, you know, that's part of the reason why I don't do anything illegal. I make sure that I'm a 10-foot pole away from people that are doing things that are illegal. I don't want to be involved in building, you know, machine guns or any of that stuff, or even know those people. I don't want to. There was a guy who at one point offered to help me. I met up with this guy, actually, not really knowing who he was, and he wanted me to basically be the front for selling 80% lowers. And he admitted to me that he had spent some time in prison for building machine guns. And I didn't want to be involved with that. So that's, you know, that guy, he could have been the world's greatest guy. I don't know. And in fact, he'll probably end up watching this. But I can't be involved in that type of stuff. Okay? I'm someone who's vocally critical of the government, and I don't want to be anywhere near any of that. And so this is something that you should think about too. Now, you know, the government is not going to send undercover agents to you know, infiltrate you and your little group of friends. If you're just like some kind of Joe, like local Joe guy, you know, you're not they're not concerned about you, okay? They're concerned about, they're probably not even concerned about people like me. They're probably concerned about, you know, more vocal and more people who are doing more things. So they may be, you know, concerned about what I'm doing. I don't really care, because like I said, I avoid doing anything illegal with a 10-foot pole. I'm not involved in any of that stuff. I don't even break traffic laws because I don't want to garner any sort of attention. I don't want to open a door for them to come after me in any way. So long story short, my advice is that you cannot trust anyone ever. You can't trust your friends, you can't trust your family, you can't even trust your wife. And this is something that I came to realize, you know, through relationships in my life and being screwed over by people that I trusted, that you can never fully trust anyone. At some point, on some level, even if it's a little bit, people will let you down. People will break your trust. And it's not necessarily a relationship ending, you know, type of stuff. Like, you know, you're going to let your wife down and she's not going to leave you because you forgot to take out the trash, but you broke that trust, right? There was a trust that had been broken. So there's always, on some level, you can't really trust anyone. So basically what I'm saying is that you should be selective and be careful about who you talk to and what you talk to them about. And not because you are talking about things that are legal or because you're planning something or whatever, but I'm saying that you need to do this with how freely you talk about some things, because it can be taken the wrong way and you can become a target by saying things that are perfectly harmless. And I'm not saying to be afraid, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't say some things publicly. What I'm saying is that just be somewhat careful about what you say publicly. I've, on some level, have brought down what I say online, or not brought down, but I've somewhat tailored it to a public audience. And part of that is because I want it to be accepted, and part of it is because I don't want to be targeted for some kind of investigation. Now, that doesn't mean that I haven't said in the past, and I'll say again in the future, and I'll say it again right now, that I believe that our government is operating illegitimately and that they are violating the trust that we've given them, and that they are basically completely tyrannical, and that they've taken over this country in a way that I'm not comfortable with and in the way that I don't like. And they're forcing people to comply with a lot of things that they're illegally doing. And I'm not afraid to say that. And you shouldn't be afraid to say those things either. But you want to be somewhat careful about the way in which you say these things, because it can be taken the wrong way. And you can be targeted by government. And we've seen this again and again. Was that Marine just a little while ago who was posting song lyrics and was picked up by the FBI. And there's been multiple cases of people who have been targeted by government. So, long story short, is don't be a wuss, but be smart about it. All right, don't be a wuss, but be smart. So, I think there's a shirt from Thunder Ranch that says "Don't die stupid," and I think it's talking about training, but I really have tried to incorporate that in my life, is don't die stupid. And that's something that you want to kind of live by, is be smart about the way that you go about things. And in these troubled times where we're coming up to, you know, government doing all sorts of things that we're not happy with and that we're not comfortable with, or that they're, you know, doing things that are outright illegal, that we want to be careful about the way that we go about remedying these things, whether through legislative processes or other processes that we deem necessary. So that is all I have to say, and I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll be back for more. Thanks for watching.